water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. And today we're going to take a look at the Fire Nation and every firebender within the Fire Nation. Some of them are incredibly powerful, able to rival the Avatar. Others, not so much. So let's rank each and every firebender from weakest to strongest. And just firebenders or avatars that originated from the Fire Nation. So Aang and Korra won't be on this list, but a lot of other awesome benders will be, so let's get to it. What's up guys, this is DanCo. I do fight breakdowns, power ranking videos, or more deep dives into your favorite characters and franchises, with new videos every week. So if that seems great to you, well, sit back and enjoy the video. Hit that like button if you want to, or hit the subscribe button while you're at it. The Sun Warriors are descendants of an ancient civilization who had first discovered firebending from the dragons themselves. They're the precursors to the Fire Nation. While most believe they've been wiped out, they're actually still alive, living in isolation in order to preserve their unique culture and traditions. Bjing was a high general for the Fire Nation army, absolutely renowned and feared for his ruthless tactics on the battlefield. In fact, he was so obsessed with victory, and victory at any cost, that he's even willing to sacrifice his own troops in order to defeat the enemy. Monkey was the leader of the Fire Nation group known as the Rough Rhinos. Before that, he had been a colonel in the Fire Nation army, destroyed countless Earth Kingdom villages. He was a powerful firebender and formidable opponent, known for his quick wits and ruthless tactics. Shiu was the great sage of the High Temple, defying the Fire Nation, and Fire Lord Ozza remained loyal to the Avatar. However, even though Shiu was obeying his original duty to protect and help the Avatar, he was still branded as a traitor. Lightning Bolt Zolt was the leader of the Triple Threat Triad, one of the most notorious crime bosses in Republic City. Zolt was obviously a powerful firebender. Like his name suggests, he was one of the few firebenders to master lightning bending. However, we'll never really know the true extent of his power, as he was the first person to have his bending removed by the villain Amon. Admiral Xiao was the leader of the Fire Nation Navy, and having been trained to become a master firebender, personally took it upon himself to capture the Avatar. Xiao was an incredibly skilled and powerful firebender, able to unleash some absolutely destructive attacks with relative ease. However, Xiao didn't understand the true heart of firebending, to control the power of fire, and this made him easily overcome by his emotions and rage, a pretty significant weakness that Aang was able to regularly exploit. Combustion Man was a firebending assassin hired by Prince Zuko in order to track down and kill the Avatar, and he was nearly successful too, terrorizing the group with his unique combustion bending abilities, basically where he would project and detonate large explosions at will, all coming from his third eye tattoo on his head. And all these attacks were incredibly powerful and deadly. Combustion Man was routinely able to take on Team Avatar all by himself and overpower everything they could throw at him. Mako is a firebender from Republic City, was a professional competitive bender, along with his brother Hasuk, an earthbender. Eventually though, they met and teamed up with Avatar Korra, joining Team Avatar. As a firebender, Mako was incredibly powerful and skilled, both in professional firebending in the ring and in more traditional firebending combat. In fact, Mako was even able to master lightning bending, a skill that definitely came in handy from time to time. A firebending master and skilled warrior and leader, General Iro was one of the youngest generals in United Forces history. He's also one of the greatest firebenders out there, able to generate lightning, uses firebending to even fly through the air. Fire Lord Azlan was the ruler of the Fire Nation for most of the 100-Year War, and was the one who transformed the Fire Nation into a military machine, attacking the Earth Kingdom and nearly destroying the Southern Water Tribe. While he was eventually assassinated, Azlan is still seen as one of the Fire Nation's strongest and most powerful leaders. Peely was a powerful firebender who possessed the rare ability of combustion bending. Basically like Combustion Man, she was able to fire out powerful destructive blasts from her forehead and blow up anything with just a thought. What was unique to her was the ability to bend these blasts, allowing her to strike from any angle or direction. Jong Jong, also known as the Deserter, is the first firebender to defect from the Fire Nation and live to tell about it. Jong Jong was a firebending master, but unlike other firebenders, he preferred to use his powers more for defense, and his fighting style focused on self-control, precision, and patience. Azula was a princess of the Fire Nation and was a known firebending prodigy. She was also famous for being able to bend blue flames, which was much more intense than normal fire from other benders. Azula was easily one of the most powerful firebenders of her time, something that both her dad and her brother recognized. But as she gradually began to lose her mind, her firebending became wilder and more unpredictable. This made her even more dangerous, but it also caused her to tire out faster and allowed her to be beaten. Zuko is a firebending master, starting out as a powerful enemy to Team Avatar, but then to eventually helping Aang master firebending himself, all before taking his place as ruler of the Fire Nation. While Zuko started out as not that powerful of a bender, under the tutelage of Uncle Iro, Zuko gradually became more and more powerful, until he earned his place as a firebending master. While Zuko initially was able to firebend because of his rage and hatred, he eventually learned the true nature of firebending from the dragons, became significantly more powerful, and able to defeat his sister in combat. Avatar Setso was an avatar from the Fire Nation, was a mighty lava bender, able to control 4 volcanoes at once. However, we don't really know just how powerful he truly was, as Setso preferred to be a diplomat and politician, and tried his best to help the Fire Nation that way. Juan was the first avatar, learning to coexist with spirits, and dedicating his life to bringing balance between them and the rest of mankind. But before all of that, Juan was a firebender. The fire lion turtle gifted the settlers living on his back, including Juan, the ability to shoot simple fire blast. However, during his time living with the spirits, Juan developed the dancing dragon firebending form. He was technically one of the first humans to truly firebend. Firelord Sozin was one of the rulers of the Fire Nation, the one responsible for starting the 100-Year War. Growing up, he was best friends with Avatar Roku, and actually managed to defeat him many times as they sparred. He would work his way to becoming one of the most powerful firebenders in the nation, but couldn't defeat Roku in the Avatar state as they battled inside a volcano. Avatar Roku was from the Fire Nation, was the Avatar during a time of great turmoil and political tension, so he had to try his best to keep the peace between the 4 nations. This obviously didn't really work out, but he still tried his hardest. He was also a powerful firebender. It was his natural element. It was so skilled that he could create massive blasts of fire while simultaneously bending other elements. Uncle Iro was a retired Fire Nation general and mentor to his nephew Zuko, but he was also a powerful firebender and was revered as the Dragon of the West. In fact, he was so powerful that it was said that if Aang failed to stop Firelord Ozza, well then only Uncle Iro could stand in his way. Like Jong Jong, Iro understood the destructive nature of fire and how easy it was to lose control. Instead, Iro based his bending style on the original firebending wisdom of the dragons and the beauty and life-giving qualities of fire. Fire Lord Ozza was the ruler of the Fire Nation during the last part of the 100-Year War, was a firebending master, even believed to have been the most powerful firebender in the world. His fighting style was extremely powerful and focused on overbearing force, all fueled by anger and hatred. In his fight against the Avatar, while under the influence of Sozin's comment, Ozza was able to unleash some earth-shattering blast and actually managed to overpower and nearly beat Aang for a time, despite Aang being able to use all 4 elements. Ran and Shaw are 2 ancient and powerful dragons who were worshipped by the Sun Warriors as the original masters of firebending. By the time Aang became the Avatar, these were the last 2 dragons left alive, as the Fire Nation had nearly hunted them to extinction. The dragons have been visited by plenty of people throughout history hoping to learn their secrets, but very few people were ever found worthy. The rest were destroyed. Unlike the aggressive firebending methods of most firebenders, Ran and Shaw practice a form of firebending that emphasizes the life-giving qualities of fire and understand the true meaning of firebending. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.